Bryan Battle going into this had a lot of hype after the whole thing that he did in Paris, talking about the Butcher. Okay, Randy Brown is a seasoned vet. I mean, 19-6. That's a lot of fights underneath his belt. Were you expecting this win from Bryan Battles?
I didn't watch this fight.
Wow.
God,
Wow.
I didn't. So we usually only talk about the main card, but I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? I want to watch the Sterling fight. I had a parlay, and he was part of my parlay. So I started watching from the Sterling fight. So I'm only going to miss one fight on this breakdown that we're doing, and it's the Bryan Battle.
Well, I had Bryan Battle on my parlay.
Yeah, this was the best prelims I ever seen. Like it was pretty stacked. I was pretty impressed that they stacked so many superstars on it.
I love the way that Bryan Battle was willing to sit there and throw hands with this guy. Crazy overhands, the way he was able to sit there and exchange. I feel like a lot of people discount this guy's striking. I know you didn't watch it, TJ, but I do love Bryan Battle. I think he's a great fighter. I think he has a lot of potential in the UFC.
Seems like he's got a great personality too. He gets on the mic and does a good job. He looks good after all the weight he's lost. Like he's flashy. He's showing it off. Like,
what do you think about his fighting style, Rampage? Anything you want to add into that?
I like his fighting style, but I noticed that his opponent, Mr. Brown, was like more bouncy and moving around and stuff like that. And Battle, he was more like me. I don't think I move around. I'm not bouncy. He was just like more like the Terminator. He was just walking him down like he didn't care. He didn't care about head movement or anything. He just felt like he was real confident.
It's because you're a power puncher, right? Like you got power in your hands. Like you're a threat just without having to move your feet, right? A guy that maybe doesn't pack as much of a punch, moving their feet, moving their heads, and catching you off guard is how they're going to get the knockout. You're going to get the knockout with just brute force.
Yeah, I never like moving around a whole lot because
Makes you tired.
Yeah, it makes me tired. I think I need to jump more rope. What do you think?
Yeah, hell yeah. Jumping rope is great.
Jump rope, diet,
just road work, right? Like that's why a lot of boxers run too, right? Just the repetition of that and getting that coordination from it. But then that's why they jump rope all the time as well.
Excuse me, Barry. When I'm talking to TJ about fighting and what things I should do, you should shut the fuck up.
So he should stop running.
Yeah,
stop running his mouth.
You're running your mouth.
Exactly.
You're not gonna tell me.
I have no problem with stopping running my mouth. But I need to see more
There's
cardio.
no way you can stop running
I
your
need
mouth.
to see more cardio from you, champ.
There's no way he can stop
You have a fight
There's
coming
no
up, okay? Eating guacamole and chips at
he
Joey's
burns
don't
more
count as a
calories
workout,
talking
brother.
than you do hitting mitts.
That's right.
Oh, don't say that about his mitts. He's been doing great lately with Coach Yogi. Don't make fun of the way Rampage hits mitts. Rampage.
How did you feel about Battle's performance?
No, it's good. I had him on my parlay. I mean, he came here on the podcast about 3 weeks ago. I just love his energy. I love his enthusiasm. He has a lot of respect for Rampage. I always like fighters that respect like the veterans and the champs and the guys that came before them because it just shows their character. Like off the camera, the guy's very respectful, very humble. He knows how to put on a good show, which I think the UFC needs more of. And I love the fact that he's an American fighter who's willing to talk the talk, walk the walk, fight anybody. Missing the weight cut kind of hurt me because I would just say professionalism-wise, it just shows like I don't know if the UFC is going to be able to count on him for a big fight card. God forbid something happens. So I think that
I'd be curious to hear why.
I'm sure he learned his lesson because he probably gave like 20-30% of his purse. That shit hurts. You know when he was here last time, he went out to La Vida.
With you?
No, not with me. I went to La Vida maybe a couple of days later, maybe a week later, and people come to me. Oh yeah, I was here with Battle, man. He was a cool guy, and they loved him. Everybody said he was super humble. Took pictures with everybody. He was cool. Orange County loves him.
And you bring up a point of like the fighter being here and he's cool, like catching a different side of him, right? Rather than being in the cage. I don't think you're probably going to come across a fighter that most of them are that way. Most of them don't have a chip on their shoulder. They train day in and day out. Everyone gets their fair lickings when you're in practice, and it's kind of hard to have a chip on your shoulder when you're that way. When it's professionally, like when you're on camera, when you're talking shit, you're building up a fight, it's different. But in person, I'd say 90% of the guys are super cool.
You bring up how guys get their fair lickings and training. I'd rather get my lickings at home at night later on.
Lickings?
I think we all would.
Lickings?
Yeah, we know you don't know anything about that.
What do you lick?
He ain't doing the licking, dog.
What do you lick? What?
You don't know what to lick on a woman, Bear?
No. Oh, we're talking about a woman licking. You lick your women at the gym or you like licking her at the house?
I thought you were getting the lickings.
You
were right.
Yeah.
But he's
been given the lickings.
Yeah, he be giving it. He don't even know what to lick on a woman.
No, brother. There's all sorts of things you could lick. You could start at the bottom. You could work your way up. Yeah, I get that. But I'm saying, why would I do that at a gym? It's unsanitary.
No. We won't do it at the gym. Have you ever licked a woman's armpit?
No, I have not gone to those ventures of the like. That's a unique area, right? That region is undiscovered.
You're supposed to love every inch of a woman. I would lick her armpit as long as it's like she don't got no deodorant.
Even if it smells like red zone.
I'm not licking nothing smelly.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, 100%.
So
this guy's like the pickiest guy with food. I can imagine he's a picky when it comes to his women,
he's a
too.
very picky eater.
Yeah.
I can't believe how picky of an eater you are. We'll go into that later because we got to talk about that. That actually upsets me sometimes. It makes it hard to order for you. Look at Bryan Battles wearing the JAXXON 10 millimeter Cuban link chain. And he also had our brand new JX1 watch.
He does look good in the necklace.
That guy's incredible support. And look at once again, a lot of respect.
And he threw that on after the fight.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So Bryan Battles, shout out to you. You're getting a win bonus from JAXXON and you're not even an official athlete.
It'll help that 20% you lost.
Yeah.
Brian, we're going to make a GoFundMe for the 20%. And I love the fact that he's right back at it with his little signature. The crowd is booing. I'm going to say this right now.
Why boo him?
Crowd booing a fighter after they win, whether they win in a dramatic fashion, a slow fashion, or a stalling sort of fashion, is the most disrespectful thing. These guys are willing to die in this cage. They're fighting for their lives, and you're going to sit over there and boo a guy after he wins? Like, that's the craziest thing. The UFC should like literally have a noisemaker and just make the crowd sound like they're cheering.
Bro, that was my first time. My first time when I fought Chuck, my first time I ever been booed in my life. That's when I had a big disconnect from the fans. I used to be like real fan friendly up until the end, and I got real bitter and salty with the fans. And so now, ever since then, I'm only cool with the Rampage fans. Like the other fans, like when people come up to me all the time, "Are you Rampage?" I'm like, no.
Hell yeah. But you just gotta. So I've been booed. Like, have you ever had a "fuck you" Rampage while you're fighting? I had a whole crowd saying "fuck you, TJ" while I was fighting, bro.
No, I have never seen that.
Yeah. Was it Madison Square Garden?
You was in that crowd. You was the one who started.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah, I remember now.
I was fighting. I think I was fighting Garbrandt at Madison Square Garden after the Ultimate Fighter, all that good stuff.
Bear started that chant.
And then guess what happened? When they started chanting it, I kicked him in the head.
See that, Rampage?